So a lot of you may know me from a video I posted a couple of years ago called How to Stop Shopping. And it's a video that I posted because I was sick of feeling like I couldn't stop. I was tired of constantly looking for something to want, chasing after it, spending my hard-earned money on it, and then worrying about it later. On top of all this, I was in about $120,000 of student loan debt, and I was tired of feeling out of control of my money. And in that video, I flat out admitted that I was a shopping addict. I had a shopping addiction. I was constantly shopping, constantly looking for something to want. And for a long time, I thought it was the stuff that I was addicted to. I loved getting things in the mail. I loved trying to find the latest and greatest. I loved to stay on trend when it came to fashion, and I loved chasing down whatever lipstick that influencer was wearing that I saw that one time. And I realized it went so much deeper than the act of shopping that I was addicted to, that I couldn't get enough of. It wasn't just the act of finding and acquiring things, and it wasn't some self-serving accolade where I could say, now I got that thing. I realize now that it was so much more than that. And I'm going to talk about that today in this video. For those of you who don't know me, welcome. My name's Christina. I talk all about minimalism, intentional living, and intentional spending. Because stuff, your money, and your life, they all go together in some way. So if any of that sounds interesting to you, then please give this video a thumbs up. It really helps out my channel a lot. And if you aren't already, please subscribe. I'd love to have you. So the first thing that I absolutely loved about shopping and that kept me wanting more was that I straight up loved spending money. No matter where I am in my financial health, in my financial journey, I will always admit that I am a spender, not a saver. I love spending money. The act of spending money, I feel like for me, has ties to feeling like I'm doing something. It feels productive. It gives me something to do. It gives me something to think about. And when I finally add that thing to cart and enter my credit card information and press send, that to me is my favorite part. But I mean, that's also the most painful part. But at the time of actually confirming my order, I loved, and I still love that feeling. It wasn't the activity of shopping, it was spending the money. I loved the feeling of spending money. There was this real sense of like purpose and productivity that I think I really enjoyed more than the thing I actually bought. The second thing I was really addicted to was a feeling of having something in common with someone else. This could be an influencer, this could be a friend, this could be a mentor or someone that I looked up to. I loved the idea that we could have commonality and develop some kind of relationship on the foundation of stuff. And it felt special to be able to get that exact eyeshadow that she was wearing or those exact pair of pants. There's something that felt attainable about that. And to me, it provided me a sense of commonality and a sense of belonging in a community that I thought I wanted to be a part of. And even if that person was a stranger that I would never meet, I felt like I got something out of the idea of knowing that I could have the same as them and I could be like them in some way. Even if that lipstick didn't suit me, even if that style was completely way off and didn't feel like me at all, I wanted to find that sense of acceptance and commonality with somebody else that I admired and looked up to. We crave social connection. We crave that acceptance in some way. And I think I used shopping for a long time to try to get that. The next thing I was addicted to was the feeling of something to do. This kind of goes together with the idea of spending money, but I was a very bored, aimless person. I had no idea how to spend my time. I didn't really know what I was interested in. I wasn't really passionate about much. And at the same time, you start living this 9-to-5 life, you're burnt out, you're tired, you don't really want to do anything when you get home, so it's a lot easier to just scroll, buy some things to make you happy, and then do it all over again. For a long time, I basically had nothing to give me purpose and to give me some sort of joy and direction. And I thought that shopping was that thing, legitimately. I thought it was that for a long time because I liked to go shopping. It was fun to go shopping. It was fun to try on clothes and to feel fashionable, and have a closet full of the clothes that I bought because I wanted them and I thought that I could. But it was straight up because I was aimless, bored, and I really felt like I had no purpose. And shopping was always like a really easy way to solve that type of problem. The fourth thing that I was addicted to besides shopping itself was the package arriving. Now, this I had a really weird relationship with because it always felt really exciting. I loved tracking the package. I would check in on the status of my package every single day. That sounded weird. The mail, the one in the mail. The thing about online shopping is that it really does feel like Christmas, and it's truly different than going into a store and walking out with something, because there's a sense of anticipation that I absolutely loved whenever I online shopped. But I had this weird relationship when that thing came in the mail, because then the reality of what I had just done would start to set in. I would have to face that I'd have to pay that credit card bill. That money and the fact that that thing cost me some money started to feel a little more real. And sometimes I would get so overwhelmed by that I would just let the box sit there for days and even weeks on end because I just didn't want to deal with it. So it's this really strange preoccupation with wondering when that thing's going to arrive, getting so excited that it came, and then doing nothing about it. I'd stress about things like putting it away, making it fit inside my already exploding closet. I love that sense that something was on its way, that anticipation, that excitement. It was fun, it was exciting. And then as soon as the thing came, reality would set in and it would suddenly become overwhelming. And the fifth thing that didn't really stick and thankfully didn't last too long in my motivations to shop, but it was the brag. Leading up to my sort of rock bottom, girl, you really need to change and get your shit together moment, I started to develop a fixation with luxury products. And I think that had a lot to do with things like peer pressure and feelings of inadequacy and thinking that I needed X, Y, and Z brand to be relevant, living in places like Toronto, trying to be like a fashion influencer back in the day. I felt like I needed these certain luxury tokens to even compete. And I started to develop this idea that if it wasn't a premium or luxury brand item, then why bother? And I really started to develop a fixation with luxury brands and the flex that could come with it. And I didn't want to brag openly about it. I didn't want to be like, oh yeah, they were so expensive. They cost like $700. Can you believe it? Like, I never wanted to openly brag about that. But what I was looking for was almost like a silent brag, a silent flex. Like if somebody saw me walking down the street and they looked down at my shoes, which why anyway, then they knew that, oh, that girl has her together. She must be doing well for herself. And I wanted to really adorn myself in these status items and these symbols of success so that other people knew that I had made it, that I was a professional, that I had a good career, and that, yeah, that girl's living the life that she wants. Because look at her shoes. And I was really starting to become fixated on the cultural meaning that a lot of these brands have. They're symbols of making it, they're symbols of higher fashion than you, of sophistication, and that you're on some higher plane than anybody else. But what I started to realize, thank God, was that I think most of us can acquire these luxury items if we wanted to, but it's gonna for sure be at the expense of your overall financial well-being, of your overall global health, and your wealth building. A lot of these items were taking up a huge chunk of my monthly household income, and they were really taking me further and further away from what these things were supposed to symbolize, which was being financially stable, feeling financially secure, having a nest egg and an emergency fund and a retirement account. These things were supposed to be symbols of financial health and wealth, and really they were the complete opposite. And if I was faking it that much, then how many other people are doing the same thing? But for a while, I really loved thinking that the fact that I bought those shoes on credit and put myself into an even more negative net worth, I still loved lying to myself and thinking that that was a brag, and that somehow having those things would actually get me closer to that idea of success that I wanted. So let me tell you, changing your shopping habits, changing how you spend and see your own money it's hard. And when you think about why you may struggle with shopping and overconsumption and always feeling like you failed in your low buys and your budgets and anything like that, then I think it's important to think about what else it is that you're holding on to and what else it is that you think you're gaining from the act of shopping itself. For me, there was a continuum of things that I was searching for and that I thought I was gaining every time I swiped. So if you're struggling with shopping, or if there's some habits that you might want to change around that, then try to think about what else you think you may be gaining from the act of shopping. And does it go a little bit deeper than just adding to cart? I hope this video helped you in some way, and if it did, please kindly leave me a thumbs up. It really does help my videos out a lot. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, guys. See you in the next one. Bye.